lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Well, hi everyone, I'm Scott and I'm back. And I'm here on the floor just like I told you I would be. Now wait a minute. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, you stop. Rewind, go and watch yesterday's video and then come back and finish this one. No, I'm just kidding, you can continue watching. But yesterday was the day that I get in the car early and I go to 10 different shops. I spend all day, have a good time, sourcing so that I can sell things in the old curiosity shop. Now, what I've got here on the floor, you can't see. I'm going to hold it up and show it to you. None of it is for sale yet. All of it, or at least most of it, will be in the old curiosity shop, coming up in the next week or two. Now you say, well, how will I know when it's for sale? You'll know because you'll see all this again in better light, close up, on a kitchen counter thrift haul. So this is just, and I'm not really going to talk a lot about dates and manufacturing processes and this and that and the third. I'm just going to quickly show it to you. And then, because I haven't even researched any of this stuff yet. Anything that I might happen to know about any of this is just rattled around in this brain. So, once again, you will see all of these items again in the kitchen counter thrift hauls, and that's when you'll know that it's up and ready online for sale in the old curiosity shop. Okay, so, I am not getting a maid. Okay, he's peeing on me because he has been, oh, that's another thing. I told you I was going to pull it out of the bags, dirty and everything. Well, you know me. I had to wash everything. So everything has been washed and it's all crystal clear and clean. That's why Kitty is peeing on me, because there's a little bit of water left. We need to put you in your litter pan. Really pretty orange tabby cat. I'm not getting a made in Japan vibe on this. Doesn't say anywhere that it's Japan. Some of you who know your ceramics might be able to help me. Again, I haven't researched anything. There is an H and a K on the bottom, right there, HK. HK doesn't sound like anything to me. This is clearly not a homemade ceramic. We can tell that. Really nice, soft eggshell finish to this tabby kitty. And once again, I'm going to go fast. This is not going to be a big MGM production. This will not be a big 30-minute video. You're just getting a quick peek at the stuff. And as I said, you'll see it all again later. It's hot in Philadelphia. I'm having some Hawaiian punch. I don't normally buy Hawaiian punch, but I was talking about it the other day, remembering how my grandmother used to give it to me and my brother in those plastic cups. So I had to go and get myself some, just for the memories. And I'm drinking it out of a Libby glass that was designed in the 1930s. How are you guys staying cool? Yes, I did buy this wonderful nautical dish. It is a piece of French Limoges. Talk more about that later. You know, I know that the Victorians had a dish for everything. No TV, no radio, not a whole lot to do in the evening. You start your dinner at 8 o'clock. You're still eating until 10 o'clock. All the courses, all the different dishes for everything. And in big dinners, there would always be a fish course with a fish service. Now, I'm not an expert on any of that. I'm not even sure that this was part of a dinner service. It might have just been decorative. If you look at the bottom, it almost doesn't really seem like it would be a dinner plate. I'm familiar with oyster plates and different fish plates, so I'm not really sure. I would love some information if you actually know, if you can tell me. I'll let you see the mark here, and I'm hoping it will focus for me. Are you able to see that? I think I've got it upside down. I apologize. And so you saw this in the thrift shop. Do you know if maybe you put your crab cake here and your tartar sauce here? I'm not even sure you were supposed to eat off of this because it's all hand painted and really pretty. So maybe it's just decorative and not meant to be part of a Victorian dinner service. I need to do some more looking up, but a lot of you out there are much more knowledgeable in porcelain than I am, so maybe you know and can tell me. Save me from having to do the research, put you guys to work. Okay, you didn't see me thrift these, but I did, and they are as cute as they can be. Look at these tiny little candelabras. It's really good glass, no marks on them. I don't know who made them. I think one of my subscribers named David is an avid candlestick collector. David, maybe you know. These are tiny. You know I'm tempted to put them next to the cat's dish. But look at these. Aren't they the cutest things? I had to get them. They weren't that much money. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. They're probably going to be for sale. You know, I'll let you know. It's probably going to be for sale. Okay, some depression glass. And when it comes to the elegant depression glass, I usually have to go and get either my Mozzie book or my Florence book and look up the patterns. I don't have the elegant patterns memorized like I do some of just the regular depression glass patterns. But this is depression glass, and again, it's by collectors it's considered elegant because it is etched, and they do take the time to polish out the mold lines. We don't see any mold lines in this. So again, it's going to be one of those companies, Duncan Miller, Fostoria, Cambridge Heisey, on and on and on. I'll look it up later. Pretty console bowl in yellow. Once again, remember, I'm going fast, but you'll see all this again. Many of the good glass companies of the 20s and 30s made glass bases to place vases on. And so here are two. They're different. They're small. I have a couple of them around here, and they're larger than this, but these would be for small vases. It is glass. See? Fenton made, well, everybody made these. And these are going to date to the 1920s and 30s. They are collectible. These aren't for sale because I actually collect these to use them. So I have two larger ones, and now I have two smaller ones. I've got now a collection of 4 of them. And if I had a nice vase here, which I don't have, yes I do, hold on. Hold on, don't go anywhere. Oh my goodness. What you can't see out of reach, hold on, I'm coming back. Here it is. I wasn't going to show you this, and actually, it doesn't fit. This is coming up much later in a haul, so pretend you haven't seen it, but this is a beautiful, so this is the kind of thing, but this one's too small, so you get the idea. Okay. I did my little happy dance in yesterday's video, and these are the pieces that were in my cart, and this is why I was doing the happy dance. We're going to go from the most common to the rarest. 4 items that I got yesterday, and here's the large Hazel Atlas Ivy mixing bowl. Mid-century, this would be mid-40s to mid-50s, something like that. Does say Hazel Atlas on the bottom, and there were nesting bowls. There was only one, which I bought not yesterday, the day before. I went back to that same shop today. Did I find another one? You'll have to tune in later on this week to find out. You probably already know the answer. That's not that rare, that's pretty common, but I like it. It's Hazel Atlas, it's late Depression glass. Next in my cart were 2 pieces of uranium glass. Here's one. It's a little serving. You know, people call these cake plates, sometimes chop plates, sandwich plates, tidbit plates. They usually have handles. Call it whatever you want. It's a little serving piece. It is Depression. It reminds me of a pattern this is all just swimming around up here, called Caribbean. I need to go back to my book, which I haven't done yet. This may or may not be the Caribbean pattern. Again, I'll look it up. But it's chip and crack free, and this will glow beautifully under a black light. This, a footed stand, never seen this. I don't know that it's any particular depression glass pattern. Now there are going to be a lot of patterns that look like this, and it could be a depression glass pattern. I'm not really sure. Again, I need to look it up. It might not be. It might just be kind of a what I would say a generically made cake stand or a little cookie stand, cupcake stand in uranium glass. Beautiful. These are two pieces that I just, you see it and you go, ah! Look at this. Now this is the real thing. It's a beer advertising tray from about 1906 or 7. The patent date on it is 1905, and so it's no older than that. I forgot that oscillating fan was on, and I wondered what that noise was. But this dates, I'm going to show it to you in a minute. This was in the thrift shop. This is the real thing, not a reproduction. Now, I don't drink beer. So, but I'll let you have a close-up. It's almost perfect. There's a little dot there, and she's got a little beauty mark right there on her chin. But this, look at this. You would think, ooh, she's a little, well, a little provocative there. Beautiful. Can you get over the condition? This is tin. This is, or some type of metal, and there's barely a scratch on it. Unbelievable that it has survived. We're going to turn it around and let you see the patent date on it. And then I'll read for you. It says Horlackers, not Horlicks. I'm familiar with, I think it's Horlicks malted milk. I ate enough of it. I worked in a custard stand when I was in high school. And it says here, the fairest is rarest the world over. Horlacker's 9-month-old perfection beer. And I quickly looked this up, and the Horlacker brewery, I think, was either in Reading, Pennsylvania, or Allentown, Pennsylvania. So this is a local piece, but so it would have more value, colloquial value, provincial value. I'm not sure how you would say that, but locally, as a beer advertising tray. I didn't do any research beyond that. I haven't looked up any comps or anything like that. But this has to be at least a $100 tray because of its condition. And if this were to go to a local auction in this area, who knows? I could not believe it. Stunned. Okay. Told you this video wasn't going to be long, and it's already 13 minutes. And let's keep going. All right. You'll see these later. 8 plates, King's Crown in amber. Okay, so I'll show you one. King's Crown or thumbprint. Really pretty. That you'll see these in the fall. This is mid-century 19. We always see it in the ruby flashed, right? So big in the 50s, and they continued to make it into the 60s and 70s. But these do have a presence online. They will sell. There are 8 plates. A piece of depression glass. I have to look this one up. It's pink. It's a console bowl. Told you I was going to speed it up. You also saw me find 4 of these of the not Anchor Hocking, Hazel Atlas Platinite, and it's the Little Hostess tea set in the 4 color. In the 4, I'm having pastel colors. The 4 pastel colors. Now, this isn't the same lot, Remember I showed you a whole bunch of it last week? That all sold. And if you're wondering about that, everything sold except maybe 2 lots. I had several pieces of it. I broke it all down into lots. 2 of the lots didn't sell, but everything else did. Remember, I paid $40 for all of that. At the end of the day, it all sold for about $70. So, it really was a labor of love, because if you count in the time that it took to break it all down into lots, photograph everything, do all of the listings, it took time to do it, but I enjoyed it, and a lot of you, enjoyed seeing it, so it was fun to sell it. But just so you kind of know the return on the investment, $40 for all of it, it ended up selling for around $70. So minus the fees and everything, and there was a little bit of a profit in there. But the saucers that didn't sell, I need for these, so I'm going to be able to piece together, I think, another set of the 4. Remember you saw this and I said, gee, I think it's early McCoy. Well, it is early McCoy. They didn't mark it at this time, and this piece would date to the somewhere in the mid to late 30s. Again, I do have a McCoy book. Another shout out for books, because I spend a lot of time, even in the evening, if I'm just watching other sourcers or other thrifters, or just relaxing, I might say, okay, I'm just going to grab my McCoy book and just start flipping through it. And you just start to memorize colors and patterns, and then when you're out, you say, gee, that looks like something that I saw in a book. Was it McCoy? I think it was. And I didn't know, because it doesn't say McCoy, but this looked like what would be a McCoy pattern, and so it was. This doesn't have a lot of value, maybe 20, 25 bucks, something like that, but it's great to find a piece of McCoy from the 1930s, and it was only $2 or $3 in the thrift shop. So get your books. They're wonderful. You're going to be able to sit at home and enjoy going through them. Reference books are very helpful. Here's that Hager piece. Again, this is a glaze. Hager liked this shiny pink glaze, but it's not marked at all. You saw in yesterday's video that it had the. I showed you an example of this with the sticker on it. So there it is, the Hager vase. And we're going to save the Flow Blue for the very end. Remember, I did tell you that I got some Flow Blue pieces. I'm going to show you those in a minute. That'll be it. This, I don't know. You didn't see me buy it yesterday, but I did. It's got that thick moriage stuff on it. And I'm not sure what's going on here. Sometimes these are just fantasy pieces, but sometimes this imagery has a meaning, and I'm not big into Asian pottery and whatnot. It's made in Japan, so it's probably something that was made after 1921, but before the war. So probably in the 30s. We can see here what didn't. This was stamped on under the glaze, okay? So and it didn't take fully, and I think that's why they went over it with this paper label, which also seems to be under the glaze, and it says that's made in Japan, and right here it's also don't know how well you can see it. That also says made in Japan, and it seems to be a paper label that was put on. Again, I think maybe because to export this, it had to say made in Japan, and not Nippon after 1921, but Japan. And so, I don't know, but there it is. It's got the moriage on it, and I'm not sure what's going on here, but he doesn't look very happy. He doesn't look very happy. He doesn't look very happy. She looks like she's up to something. And he hadn't had his fiber one for breakfast either. I don't know what all this imagery means, but it's pretty. It's type of pottery. It's you always get this crazing in the glaze and whatnot. But There it is. Look that up. And then finally, ooh, no, that's fine. Finally, here's some Flow Blue. Now, the Chinese kept their recipe for porcelain a big secret, and it really got on the nerve of the English folk, because Chinese porcelain was highly sought after in England in the 18th century, and the English tried and tried and tried, and they finally figured it out. And depending on what source you read, some say the Flow Blue was an accident, some say it was on purpose, I don't know. I'm not a Flow Blue collector, and I don't know a whole lot about it, but I have read that. So I've got 4 cups and saucers, and bear with me for a second so I can match them up. This is all English Flow Blue, and it's called Flow Blue because the blue has a very gentle, it's kind of smeared, it flows very gently, almost in a blurry effect. And we can see back here the blue. Okay, so that's Flow Blue. Now this is English transferware, and but very popular in the Victorian era, which was a very long time, as we know. It's hard to see that hallmark because the blue has flown so much, but what I'll do quickly is there's one Flow Blue cup and saucer right there, and okay, so there's one. This is English. Here's another one, which almost looks identical to this. I think it's the same. In fact, they might be the same. I think they are. But I think on this one we have a better. I'm not sure. It's really hard to see. This one says, I know you can't see that. Maybe you can. England, Waldorf, W-A-L, Waldorf, England, something, something, something. And I think these also are marked the same. Now there's a chip on the underneath there, so chips affect value. But this, I almost never find Flow Blue, and it was so inexpensive, I couldn't say no, even though there were a few little chips, because these were only like $1 for the cup and $1.50 for the saucer, something like that. This one I'm going to show you last. Here's another one that's English. And you can really see there. And this one is really just transferware and not. Do you see the difference? Let's get you to see it. That's just good old English transferware. And this is transferware too, but which one is the Flow? This one flows. Flow. Remember Flow's Diner? That one is the Flow. This one would just be blue and white transferware. So the Flow Blue would be a little more collectible, a little more valuable, but still nice early English. And then the last one I want to show you is actually, this is made in Japan. But it's old meaning 1920s, and it's, we see Japan right there, and this cup and saucer match. I don't know how well you can see it. So this is also a transferware piece. So just 2 pieces of blue and white, and then 2 transferware, 2 Flow Blue cups and saucers. All right, is that it? Check the floor. That's it. So again, it's not for sale yet. You'll see it in the next week or 2 in the kitchen after I've researched everything, photographed it, done the listings, and it'll be up and ready. So stay tuned for that. Also, tune in tomorrow night because there will be another thrift haul and another whole set of stuff going up for auction. So that's going to be on Friday. I said this was going to be short, and now it's 24 minutes. I just talk too much. All right, thanks for watching. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, If I don't talk to you, have a nice 4th of July weekend or whenever it is. Stay safe, stay cool, and see you next time. Thanks for watching. So long for now.